Well, hello everybody. This is Gentle Giant,
And Sweet Pea.
and we finally made it for a video together. This is our first video to really be together. I know. So we actually do stay in the same room, but we have separate work rooms in the house.
Yep.
So we finally got together and found a way to set that up. So this is kind of exciting. So you guys helped us make 1,000 subscribers, and we promised that we would do a question and answer video and answer almost any question that you asked. And
I don't know that we threw out any questions. I think we're going to answer them all.
I think we are going to answer them all. None of them were too personal.
Not too personal.
And
thank you. It's because of you and your kindness that we've reached this great milestone.
Right.
If you guys didn't watch our stuff and you didn't like it, well, there wouldn't be any reason for us to continue. But you make it really great and awesome. You do it. Yay! Okay, so are you ready to start?
All right, let's get some questions.
You want a
See what
question?
happens.
All right. How did you find out about ASMR?
Well, I listened to a lot of podcasts. So I was listening to a podcast by someone called Preston Sprinkle, and he was just talking about how there's unusual things out there on the internet. He said, "Have you ever heard of ASMR?" And the other guy on the podcast said, "No." And he said, "Well, you should go check it out. It's a whole niche." And so I ended up going and checking out ASMR, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." And that year, it was about a year and a half ago, I was physically sick and I was exhausted. And so I checked out some ASMR with Sophie Michelle, and she was just doing like, "Everything's going to be okay. You're going to be able to sleep tonight. You're okay." And it was a 45-minute video. And I just put that on, and it just kind of calmed me down. And I was like, this is really cool. So that was my first introduction to ASMR. And then, does that answer the question, or is there more to it?
How did you find out about ASMR? So
That's it.
my response to that would be, how did I find out about ASMR? Because I heard Sophie Michelle over on the other side of my bed talking to me.
Who is this woman over here talking to my husband?
But we got the desired result, which was a calmer husband. So that works. So both of you experience ASMR? And if so, do you remember your first experience with it? So I'll answer first and be real transparent. I don't experience ASMR. So there you go. You
Sorry.
go for it. I know. Sad.
So we've tried everything on her. If I can come up with something that can give her ASMR, then we'll be there. But she loves music and all kinds of other amazing things. So.
Yeah.
So do I experience ASMR?
Do you experience ASMR, and do you remember your first experience?
Well, I guess that experience that I told you about before would
that
be
would
the
kind
first
of answer
experience. But yes, I experience nearly every kind of ASMR. I mean, there's some that I find undistasteful, but almost anything, and I experience it kind of it's just a warm feeling in my chest and in my spine, kind of runs down my spine. Maybe not as intense as some people that I hear talk about it, but it's just, and it makes me just kind of get into a sleepy mode when I start to hear it. But I found you have to focus on it. If you just listen and you're kind of doing something else, it's not going to affect you as much. So you kind of have to relax yourself. For me, I have to relax myself and kind of focus, and then it affects me. And so sometimes I've been too busy making ASMR to actually listen to a lot of ASMR in the last 6 months.
So what are your favorite triggers? Good to listen to and to do.
Well, I enjoy the mic brushing sounds. There's just so many things you can do with the mic. And when I'm actually performing the video, I just feel those sounds. So I put the headset on, and it's like, I know that if I'm feeling it, that you guys will probably feel it. So I like that. And I hope we're being soft-spoken enough. We did choose to make this a soft-spoken video instead of a whispering video. So we'll see how that goes. But I like the mic sounds. I like the hand sounds. There's a lot of things you can do with hand sounds. And then I like tapping and I guess...
You kind of like it all, don't you?
I like almost
you
all
like
of
to
it.
listen to it all, and
Yeah.
you like to do it all. But listening is personal attention your favorite?
Well, if I need personal attention at the time, then it's my favorite. You know, if I'm
Okay.
needing to be calmed down, that's kind of
Depending on your experience, what you're feeling
Yeah.
right then.
right. If I'm
Okay.
just wanting to have fun, I might listen to tapping
Okay.
or something. But if I'm really feeling anxiety
Yeah.
and just need to calm down,
Yeah.
I'll put that on. And I found that that's really helpful because I've taken some medications in the past, and a lot of medications for anxiety seem to be counterproductive. So, they they're addictive. So, if you can find things like exercise or good sleep habits, or
Those help as well.
or ASMR, those things help.
Yeah.
To help you stay healthy without having to be too dependent on lots
Sure.
of medications.
Sure. All right, so the next question says, do you watch a lot of ASMR? If so, what are some of your favorite channels and triggers? So you've kind of addressed watching it, and I don't watch ASMR. However, okay, I say that. I have watched some because being a person who wants to help you guys and perform some ASMR triggers that would be helpful to you, I have watched some artists in the process of seeing what they do and to help me understand and help me get some good ideas. And I go around the house tapping on things and doing things just to see if it sounds good, because even though I don't have a trigger, I am a musician, so I kind of, does that sound good? And then I do it for him to see if it's really a good trigger. Okay, so but favorite.
If I can interrupt, that's just a crazy thing, because once you start doing it ASMR, it's like every object that you find
Right.
at the store
Everything
or around
is
the house.
possible.
I have to touch this object. I have to shake.
Tap on it, shake it.
Have to shake this. Have to shake this bottle of salt, and then as you get to do it more and more, you realize which objects will sound good on the microphone and which objects will not sound good.
I
on the
really want to
microphone.
get a rain stick, because I just, in my imagination, I think a rain stick would be like a really awesome sound.
We need to do that.
I think that would be really good. So your favorite channels. You've already addressed your favorite triggers, your favorite channels.
My favorite channels, I really love ASMR Marno and Goodnight Moon. And I say those two together because last time I checked they were dating, or they were in a relationship. But both of them, they really have interesting channels. There's not as many large channels with men that are doing ASMR. And so I enjoy him. He's kind of creative. He has a sense of humor. And I'd say the same thing about Goodnight Moon. She's creative and has a sense of humor, and she's just very calming. And then, of course, Raffy Taffy ASMR.
Right.
He's one of the first ones I found, and he taps on things. And I just love his personality, and I love his sense of humor.
So is Marno, but he's great. Yeah.
I like to put a little humor into my videos, and I've had one of you guys commented back and said, "Yeah, I enjoyed your ASMR, even in spite of the humor." Okay.
Oh no, you guys are in trouble. It's in spite of the humor.
You have to be what you are, because if you're gonna be on YouTube, you have to be what you are, because people like to see your personality. So humor's one of those things. So,
do you listen to your own ASMR to relax?
I don't normally intentionally do that, because I would rather hear someone else's, but I'm so sensitive to ASMR. It doesn't matter if it's me. It will help me. So I actually put on my "Shh, it's okay" video recently at one time, and just let myself tell myself to calm down.
A new level of talking to yourself.
Yes, it is. It is. So
that means when
crazy.
you're editing, you're actually experiencing and you're relaxing.
It's so true. It's so true. Except that I'm kind of focused, so maybe I can't fully relax.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so what the next question says, who are your favorite ASMR artists? But we just talked about that.
I left out Patty ASMR, who
that's true.
He kind of taught me the aggressive, pay attention, focus category of ASMR. So
And
we've been playing with that for a while now.
And you can never forget him because he pushed us thoroughly over that 1,000 mark because he did a shout out to us, and we are so ever grateful because it was just that day was just so exciting. We woke up and we were at 998, and then we were at 1,015, and then we were at 1,040, and then we were at 1,100. We're just like, what?
Right.
It was like hard to focus that day.
And you guys helped too. I mean, you helped. Probably a lot of you advertised us and did other things. So we want to once again thank
once
everybody.
again. Yes.
He just has a wonderful. If you just watch Patty ASMR, he just has a wonderful personality. He's positive. He's upbeat. He's always smiling, and he's more of an extrovert than we are. He's just like you can just tell. He just loves everybody. He had a really great video where he had like 20 roommates come into the room, and I wanted to show you this one. He had them all stand behind him, and 20 people were all doing ASMR at once. So you should check that out on his channel.
Okay, that sounds like good. Okay, so this is to you because I don't do this. All right, what made you decide to incorporate neon colors, lights, paints into your videos?
I guess, it just seemed interesting. I always want to do something to give it a little twist or make it interesting. And I think the one negative thing I've seen some videos where people turn out the lights completely, and I've done one like this, and everything's black light. You can't really see the person's face. And I think seeing the person's face is an important part of ASMR, unless you're laying down not looking at the video. So I just wanted to add little pieces of color, and I love bright colors and bright things. I love rainbows. So it's just part of my personality, I guess. And it's a way to make the videos different from some other people's videos. So that's my main answer for that.
To make it different.
Yeah, it'd be different.
You don't like to do the same thing.
I'm doing what I enjoy. Yeah, and I'm doing what I enjoy.
That's
because
true.
If I enjoy it, there's probably out of the 7 billion people on the planet Earth, there's probably some other people who also enjoy it.
There you go. So what's something you love about making videos and your channel in general?
Well, a lot of times I'm not really sure quite what I want to do when I go sit down to make a video. So we have a little studio set up. So I'll just go in there and I'll look around and I'll grab this object and I'll say, I'm going to put on this shirt, and maybe I'll throw something up behind me or put a filter on the camera, and then I'll just jump in and start doing something, and then words start to come and I make stuff up and I say things I've never said before. I kind of like, it's good to plan things sometimes, but I also like the spontaneity. So I enjoy that. I also enjoy editing. I will edit a couple of hours in the evening while we're watching TV together. So I have to put on my headphones sometimes so I can actually hear, and I miss what's on TV. But when I'm editing, there's so many tricks you can try. You can turn the video to where it's playing backwards and see what what their mouth sounds like when they're going backwards. You can change the coloring. You can speed it up. You can slow it down. You can add sound effects like water. And so editing is fun to me also. Maybe a little less stressful than recording, because when you're recording, there's just this thing of I'm going on camera. What am I going to say? That was a long answer.
So I'm gonna address a few of this question a little bit. What do you love about making videos? And I actually was making some instructional videos back the year prior to you starting the ASMR channel, and then I joined in, and I enjoyed that a lot. But my favorite part of making the videos is your responses. You watch the videos and then you make comments on the videos, and the hand sounds and the mic brushing, and it helps you to calm down, and that just makes me happy. It makes my heart really happy.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So we're going to answer a few personal questions that were come our way.
No.
What's your favorite song or favorite kind of music?
All right. Well, sometimes I get a little bit of pushback for this, but I like pop music. I like Taylor Swift. We both like Taylor Swift. we really enjoyed her stadium tour. It was just like all this crazy, loud stuff, and high quality dancers. So I enjoyed that. I really like. If you want to go back to the 70s or 80s, I really liked ABBA. Their music is just crazy, and it's just silly. I love silly stuff where people are just being themselves. Yeah, and then I like worship music, so I enjoy. It's a whole different kind of ASMR when I can just get into meditation and enjoy feeling the love of God. So that's something else I enjoy.
So on Connor's side there, this is kind of unusual, but like my favorite type of music would be orchestra, or like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, just real like
Christmas.
Well, they're
holiday maybe.
I like Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's not primarily Christmas. It's more driven, more beat oriented, more fullness, like filling the room. Or like I recently really enjoyed watching Hamilton, just musicals and telling stories with an unusual. I mean, Hamilton included so many genres of music in it.
I haven't gotten to see that one yet.
Oh well.
You also, this reminds me of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but you also like that what's that circus movie that we watched? The Greatest Show?
Yes.
You really like The Greatest Showman, and the music in that is really
it's
upbeat.
that driven, upbeat, like real, yeah, that's the kind of.
And you were in the band in high school.
I was in band.
And so you enjoyed being in the midst of all that percussion and sound and orchestra. That's really cool. So that's a kind of ASMR for you.
So, do you like any sports teams?
Sports? This is really sad, but no, I'm just not into sports.
He's not into sports.
I
used to watch sports. I liked sports. Watching it, not participating in them, but watching them, I really enjoyed it. Duh, I was in the band. Ha! So, there you go.
I watch football a little sometimes with my dad, but that's about the extent of it.
Because his dad likes it. He wants to be with his dad.
Yeah.
Not because he likes it. All right. What is your favorite movie and why?
Me first or you?
You go, because I don't have an answer yet.
Okay, so while you're thinking about getting an answer, possibly what kind of movie you might like to watch, I will give you some time by just talking and saying nothing and really while I'm talking, so you can have time to think about what it is.
How can I talk when you're doing that?
Oh, you're supposed to be thinking, not talking.
Oh, how can I think when you're doing that?
Okay, I'll just do this for a minute.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
So, the favorite movie, I would say two favorite movies, and this popped into my head pretty quick. Mr. Holland's Opus and It's a Wonderful Life. And I think both of those movies are meaningful because I'm going to start crying if I talk about these movies.
Yeah.
They're both meaningful because
so special.
They show the person, the main character in the movie, that life is about the process,
Yeah.
And It's a Wonderful Life. Jimmy Stewart wanted to go off and travel the world and go places, but he found out that his life was really about his family and his hometown and his wife and his kids and the love that took place in those things. And the same thing for Mr. Holland's Opus.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a famous singer.
Right. Well.
Or musician. A writer.
Composer.
And
That's the word.
And he found out that he spent his life teaching children, which he didn't want to do, teaching children in school.
And in the end, he filled an entire auditorium full of the people that he had influenced, who are now influential people. And
so a lot of times in life,
one of my favorites as well.
A lot of times in life, we don't realize that it's not the destination, but it's what you do on the way and the life that you make on the way that's really important.
Yeah.
So you guys got me with that question.
There you go. That was a good question.
Good one.
Favorite holiday dish?
Me or you first? I went last.
Oh, you went first last.
And you still haven't told us your movie yet.
Well, I'd say Mr. Holland's Opus is right up there. I mean, it's just such
But you need a movie of your own,
I know. Well, whatever.
You can keep thinking.
Oh, okay. Favorite holiday? Unfortunately, I would have to say that prior to this year, one of my favorite holiday dishes would be like fudge, right? But I recently was diagnosed with diabetes, so I'm learning different things to make them favorite. But honestly, my dressing or stuffing, that was a conversation at Thanksgiving, was I call it dressing, but it should be called stuffing.
It just depends.
But I don't stuff it into the turkey, so that's why I don't call it stuffing, because it doesn't get stuffed into the turkey. That's why I call it dressing. But it's not really dressing, because I guess that's the dressing for the salad. Anyway, I make an awesome stuffing dressing, and it smells so good. It fills the entire, and it's yummy. Okay.
Yeah, so...
What's yours?
Well, Anita's stuffing or dressing or whatever is one of my favorites as well. It's kind of like taking butter and adding a little bit of cornbread to it.
Hey, watch it.
I like a lot of butter and salt, but I get sick if I eat too much, so I have to be careful.
There you go.
Especially now. But my other one is broccoli and corn. It's
broccoli, rice, and
cheddar broccoli rice, and what was the other one? Did I have another one? Oh, I like the turkey. I really like turkey.
Yeah.
A lot. So yeah, I'm right in there when it comes to Thanksgiving. I'm right.
Yeah, let's go for it.
In the center of
yum.
people. I'm trying to. I hope I'm not getting too loud, because maybe I'm not being soft spoken.
All right, soft spoken. All right. So, did you major in anything? I'll go first.
Okay.
So initially, I majored in child rearing. Honestly, that is not what I initially.
No.
Initially, I got a...
you got all kinds of education.
I started out with a legal secretary degree. I worked in that for just a short period of time. We got married. I raised children. We have 5 beautiful children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! And 3 daughters-in-laws right now. 3 daughters-in-law.
3 wonderful daughter-in-laws.
Oh, that's true. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And we have 3 grandchildren. So there you go. We are so blessed. When our last child was getting close to finishing high school, and we were getting close to the end, I didn't know what I was going to do next. I was still rather young, not too old. And so I went and got my undergraduate in nursing. So I became a registered nurse, and I worked like that for a bit. And so I'll hand it over to you.
What was the question?
Your education. Your education.
Got it. Education. So, I have education in 2. Well, I have a bachelor's degree from Southwestern Assemblies of God University in Waxahachie, and my degree there was in Bible-related things, and that didn't pay very well. So I went on to do some. Well, first I went and worked at the post office for 25 years, and then I went and took some computer classes, Cisco networking actually, which I'm not that good at, but it did get me a pretty good career, and I've been in information technology for about 10 years. So those are my majors and studies, my education.
Major.
And then I self-educate all the time. I'm always listening to podcasts, always reading books. Always. I just love learning things. I'm real... My mindset is a kind of an openness. I just like to learn anything new and try anything new, and she keeps my feet on the ground, because don't float away.
And you have to have, his brain is the kind where he has to have lots of things going on in order for him to even focus on one thing at a time, is to have other things going on. So it's just the way that's the way you are.
That's why I need to have meditation to calm down.